Hello everybody, my name is Angela Kende and here's my response for discussion 8. So something that I found from the documentary that was interesting that I did not know before was that they had something called PC Bang in South Korea. I didn't know that people use computers so much or like digital media so much that they literally stay in a cafe filled with computers playing video games all day. And something that was interesting about that is that people stay there. There were people who actually died in the cafe because of they were playing video games, because of they went 50 hours straight without sleep, without water, without food, or because they were playing video game. It wasn't because they didn't even have access to food, but it was because they did not want to leave what they were doing just to go eat. And I find that's so interesting because I never heard that before. What was new about this information that I didn't know that made it interesting is that back home, I'm from Nigeria, we had like something called a cyber cafe, but it was just like you couldn't even game on the cyber cafe. You could just literally probably send emails and like you have to pay, and it's like for an hour 30 minutes and you just go. But it's new because I didn't know that people actually took time, 50 hours, up to 50 hours just playing video games. And one thing I found interesting about, I was like looking up like around the surroundings in the video, and one thing I found interesting about the PC Bang was that it was mostly boys. And I was like, wow, so it's mostly boys that is like mostly addicted to video games. And then one thing I also noticed, like one thing I also found interesting was when the narrator said some of the people actually had medical conditions because of too much video games. Like some people complained of eye problem and ear problem because of video games. I'm just like, wow. And I also noticed that most of the boys in the videos, most of them were wearing glasses. That's one thing that was interesting again. This new info will affect my life because it will make me see like because I didn't even know that we were called digital natives. I was just like, okay, but now that I know like they were called digital natives, I mean, I feel like it's going to affect my life better because I'm a type of person, I like to multitask, and I didn't know that multitasking was a bad thing, but it's going to help me to reduce, like to just calm down, to just learn to take things one step at a time. But one thing that I find that people try to do, like most people that are not digital natives, is that they try to change the fact that technology is evolving. But that's one thing, we can't go back to where there's no technology, but we can just improve how, like, what are we doing with the technology? What are we using technology to do? Is it for good or is it for bad? And what I feel about this potential effect is that moving forward, it will help me to know what I'm doing on, like when I go on social media or like anything digital. It'll make me to understand, to realize that not everything is about technology, and I just have to come back, back to the old-fashioned way of doing things instead of relying on technology all of the time. So like this is how that's going to affect my what I felt before. Thank you for listening.